Hey guys, what's happening? Sean Ames here from Heart of America FPV. We're here for the second 2-minute tech support video thing. Today's question is actually an old question. I've been kind of desperate to find questions. I thought that was going to be the easy part. It hasn't been. So I went to the Rotor Riot group and typed help to see in the search bar to see like if there's any questions out there I can help with. This is an old one from back in October, but it's something I think I can speak to. This question came in from Justin, and let me butcher his last name here. I think his name is Justin Budzanoski. Sorry about that, Justin. I'm sure I'm not the first person to completely butcher your name. His question was about FPV goggles and terrible vision. Personally, I am legally blind in my right eye. That's this one. When I was born, my eyes were misaligned. As a defense mechanism, my brain chose to use one eye or the other. So if I'm forced to use my right eye, then everything's super duper blurry. And he was saying his left eye, everything is super duper blurry. Lenses can't help it. That's the same as mine. It's like a neurological issue, not necessarily a vision issue. In real life, I only use one eye at a time. My brain only uses one eye at a time. I'm what you would call stereo blind, so I don't see 3D at all. My experience was a little bit different in FPV goggles and even in Oculus Rift type of goggles. So I always assumed that since I was stereo blind and my brain only uses one eye at a time, that like I could just take like the right screen out of my Fat Sharks. I started off with box goggles. I flew those for a little while. All of it's disorienting at first. So if you're new to the hobby and you're using box goggles and it doesn't quite feel right, or then you go to Fat Sharks and that doesn't quite feel right, I think that's normal across the board. So kind of keep that in mind. When I first switched to Fat Sharks, like it was super disorienting. It took me a while to get used to it, but what I've noticed, it's kind of surprising, but I have to like get my IPD correct. So the interpupillary distance adjustments, where you're essentially sliding the screens left and right, I have to get those right. If not, it looks really, really bad to me. But it's odd because I always assumed that right eye wouldn't matter at all and my brain would just use my left eye, but my brain is using both eyes in some manner whenever I'm using FPV goggles. So my recommendation is to give it a shot. I know in COVID era, there's not really an opportunity to share goggles very often. Maybe just buy a set of goggles that has a good return policy, but I would suggest that you're upfront with them and let them know that you're not sure how it's gonna work out. If you have a friend that's willing to loan you a set, definitely just give it a shot. The thing that's hard about borrowing goggles, everything takes a little while to get used to. Get behind a set of goggles for a few days, at least like 20 to 30 batteries before you make a judgment call on it. I guess from someone that has terrible vision in one of my eyes, I do totally fine with some caveats. HDOs are great for me. The HDO2s were like too much screen. I had a hard time seeing the entire screen on HDO2s. I've used DJI goggles. I did fine with them, but I would have to scale down. You know how they have the adjustable screen size? I would scale down the screens to like 70%. That would allow me to see everything fine. The Orcas, if it's on freestyle mode, which is like the same size as the HDO2s, that looks awful to me. I have a hard time seeing that, but when I put it in racer mode, it works great. So I guess my suggestion is give it a shot. Don't be afraid of it. I hope that helps you out. So this was the second video in my 2-minute tech support series where I go out to the Facebook groups and try to find questions from people that need some help. I am having trouble finding questions to answer. So if you see something that you think, I might be able to help with, do me a favor and tag me in it or shoot me a message on Facebook and show me where it's at. I enjoy doing this and I plan on trying to do it at least once a day. So guys, I hope that helps you out. As usual, I don't have a Patreon or anything like that right now, but I am going to put an affiliate link to something that I've bought on Amazon recently that I think you might be interested in. It's kind of like a surprise if you want to see what has Sean bought on Amazon lately. But anyway, I hope this helps you out and we'll catch you next time on Heart of America FPV. Later.